What is going on, horror fans? Scream fanatic here. And this just in. So Matthew Lillard at the recent fan expo he was at, I believe it was in Denver. I'm not quite sure. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But Matthew himself, the man behind the character Stuart Mocker, if that's his full name, literally backed Kevin Williamson's claim that they did shoot an alternate ending where Stu Mocker was in fact alive. And let's hear the statement from Matthew Lillard. Let me read his quote. "I told Kevin Williamson we spent the entire movie proving that Stu is alive, true, and that if he doesn't come out the door, people are going to be bummed," said Lillard via Screen Rant. So, what should we do? Is we should shoot a post-credit scene where it's Stu watching TV somewhere alive. We shot it. I will say when they showed it to the test audience, they showed it without credits. So they go to the end and they show me in the reflection watching TV. And it didn't work. So it didn't work because they didn't test it right. Because it would have been completely different with credits. Had the scene been included in the film, it would have vindicated many fans. Okay, that's not even from, I don't think that's from Matthew Lillard's statement itself. Yeah, this is just frustrating. I mean, the fact that one of the main reasons why they cut the scene is because someone did a poor editing job. In the test screening, someone didn't include the credits, so people got confused, and that's what triggered people to complain, ultimately ending in that ending being scrapped, which is just, it's so annoying, because literally, we could be in a reality right now where we got that post-credit scene, where us Stu believers were proven right, where us Stu vindicators, Craven something scary, rest in peace to him, and, Sister Pam and Scream Fanatic, myself, all could have been proven right that Stu was in fact alive. And I mean, all the breadcrumbs were right there. All the Easter eggs were right there being built from 2022 onward to 2026. And because they didn't have the balls and because they were afraid of pissing off the Stu deniers, they're like, nah, let's play it safe. We rather piss off the Stu fans instead. That's, for some reason, way safer. Dropping the ball is the safer route than just going all out, making a movie that's historic, and giving us killers that actually mattered. Because the ending that we got, nobody cared. Nobody cared about the killers we had, but if we at least got the alternate ending, guess what? It's locked in that Stu is alive and that Stu is coming back for Scream 8 as the final boss. And then everything in Scream 7 makes fucking sense. The stuff with Jessica Bowden and Marco and Carl and the whole stuff with the Fallbrooks facility, all of it would have added up. Everything, all the math would have mathed. And there would have been a method to the madness. And we would have looked back at the movie thinking, okay, so basically, all this is a setup for Stu's return. And it wouldn't just be speculation, it would be confirmation. We would all know 100% with 100% certainty Marco, Jessica, and Carl were all working as part of Stu Mocker's cult. But now, we're stuck with the ambiguity of, well, maybe they are, but maybe they aren't. And obviously, at face value, what's confirmed is Stu is in fact dead, and he was just AI throughout the movie. Now, we can make our own theories that, nah, he was real in the call outside Pine Grove High or outside the tavern. That was him. We could speculate that, but until he walks through that door in the flesh in Scream 8, as far as I'm concerned, officially Stu Mocker is not alive, and that is thanks to the decision that they made, and overall the decision Kevin Williamson made, and even Neve Campbell. I mean, didn't she help produce the movie? Well, I guess the producer isn't the writer, but still, it's really annoying. Like, Stu Mocker twice now was supposed to be alive. He should have been back for Scream 3. He was going to be back for Scream 3. But then the Columbine situation happened, so they scrapped the idea. Then he was to be back for Scream 7, and I know there was an official concept somewhere where basically Stu was going to be like a Michael Myers type character. Am I getting the character correct? That villain from Halloween. He was going to be like the villain from Halloween, basically, who's stalking Sydney and her daughter. That was going to actually be an official thing, and then they cut back to the whole AI thing, but Matthew Lillard, rightfully so, corrected Kevin and said, we should at least give the fans an alternate ending. If we're not going to give them Stu as the killer, let's at least give them the comfort of knowing, okay, he's out there, it's official, and he'll be in the next movie. Okay? I know we were going to get that Michael Myers version, but Matthew made up for it by at least asking Kevin to shoot the alternate ending. And of course, both things get scrapped. The Michael Myers thing gets scrapped, and the alternate ending gets scrapped. And now we're left with, is he alive? Is he not? And yeah, I'm with Sister Pam. I watched her video last night where she said, I don't even know at this point if they're actually going to pull the trigger on Stu. Like, I don't know. Like, I can only hope and have faith, but I'm like doubtful that Scream 8's going to be any better than Scream 7. It's going to be another pointless whodunit. It's going to be the same cliche we've seen throughout like the last 7 films. I mean, the only really good Scream films we've had, obviously, was Scream 1, Scream 2, Scream 3, although people see it as a flop, I don't see it that way. Scream 4, personally, I like the 5th movie, and then for me, the franchise ended at 5, and then 6 wasn't all that, and then 7 was the worst of them. So that's annoying, but at least now we have confirmation from Matthew Lillard himself that yes, Stu was in fact to be alive. He was in fact to be back. And that deleted scene, it is somewhere out there. And who knows? They could release it, and they could even give us a Stu cut, like an alternate version of the movie with that ending, which I would hope. Like, it'd be nice if we could get that scene, and that, you know, we could kind of maybe view it as canon. I don't know. But what do you guys think? Very annoying, though.